Friends, how are you? It is Monday, and this is the Stopher Show. I am Stopher Cavins. I do work as a psychic medium, a professional psychic medium, if you want to call it that. And I'm here to answer your questions. Bear with me just a moment while I adjust my screen. How's everybody doing tonight? It is good to see you. And yeah, say hi. Say hi. So I know you're here. And hit the like button on your way in. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. We are going to get into your questions. As always, I have seven or eight that have been emailed to me. If you would like your question answered on the Stopher Show every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time, please email to the Stopher Show at stophercavins.com, and I will connect, answer your question. It is free. No need to. This is what I do every Monday night for free. If you would like a private paid session with me, you can do that. We do the psychic sessions. We do the mediumship. We do the pet energy healing. Just go to stophercavins.com. You can do a 30-minute session, a 45-minute session. I have 50-minute sessions that allow for called the combo, which is mediumship and I gotta stop playing with the mic. Because last week I pulled the cord out of it. Anyway, the 50-minute session is the combo session. It allows for psychic connection where I'm telling you about your stuff. We'll get into what that entails, and also connecting you with loved ones in spirit, bringing forth messages, information, all the stuff. I also offer email readings. So if you do not have time to sit for a reading, if you're not into it, if you don't want to talk to me directly, that's fine. Just hop onto my website, click the email reading option. I think it's also called an e-reading on the website, and you can pop in your 4 questions. Bada bing, bada boom, and I will record a reading within a couple days. Email it to you. It's in video form. Usually averages 12 to 18 minutes, depending on what you're asking, how much information is there. And that's that. And you'll have it forever if you download it to your device. Anyway, so that's that. When it comes to the psychic readings, we get into everything. You know, I don't put anything off limits as far as what I'll connect to, the health and wellness. I do that. Of course, I'm not a doctor. If you need more than my psychic opinion, please consult with a doctor. We go over career and finances. This includes any kind of legal stuff. I'm not a lawyer, but if you have a legal question as far as how something might turn out or what things are looking like, I'm happy to dig into that information as well. Hi, Heather. And career and finances, love and relationship, of course. Things going on inside the home. We cover all of it. Spiritual stuff. I go there. I go to all those areas of your energy. And then when it comes to the mediumship, so what we're doing is, you know, I hate to call myself an evidential medium. You know, I get kind of caught up with semantics and words, so I try not to think about it too much. But the evidential stuff, of course, I bring through evidence so we know who we're talking about, but that's not all. That's not the focus. You know, did she have pink fingernails, or did grandma have glasses with a little imperfection in them? You know, that's not what we do. But we do bring enough evidence forward so we know who we're talking to. And then, of course, there's always messages within that evidence of why we're talking about it, why, you know, grandma, grandpa, dad, mom, whoever is coming forward wants to talk about those things or bring those matters up. And then, of course, messages and any important information they want to pass on or talk about. Because the goal is always to kind of provide healing or clarity on, you know, what happened or why things happened or that kind of thing. Anyway, so we're going to get into it. I've got your questions here pulled up. What else do I want to tell you? Yeah, so I kind of touched on the fact that I'm not a doctor, not a lawyer, not a licensed anything. If you need more than my opinion, please consult with proper professionals. You know, readings I provide are helpful. Getting guidance and clarity, confirming things that your intuition is already telling you, and the O word, objectivity. So I try to be objective, give you my objective opinion, maybe show you some blind spots in your own energy. That's what we do. Leah, hello, hello, hello. If anybody has had an experience with me as far as a reading, whether it be private or on here, e-reading, whatever the case is, I'm not a person that toots my own horn or tells you how good I am or how good I think I am, because that's not valuable to you. But I hope that folks that have had sessions with me can tell you what their experience is, good, bad, or in between, and then that can help you decide if you place value on what I do or if you want a reading. I do have water tonight, and I have an olfaction. So if you have a drink, cheers. We'll do the water first because parched. All right. Into the questions. Once again, if you have questions and you have not emailed them, feel free to put them in the chat. But full disclosure, there's a lot going on when I'm connecting and reading. So, and I'm a one-man show. I don't have a producer, so I'm unable to really focus on the chat. I'll dip in from time to time, but you know, your as the chat goes on, your questions get pushed up, and I may or may not see them. I may or may not have energy to read on them. So if you really want your question read on the Stopher Show on Monday night, email it. Oh, thank you, Heather. All right. Let's get to it. So I've got writing into the show, Kaya. We'll say Kaya M. I think this is the first time I've seen. I think last week Kaya emailed in. Anyway, so I have to find a new teaching job. She says. Will I end up? No, we already saw this. No, we didn't. It's similar to the one she asked last week. I messed up. I have to find a new teaching job. Will I end up in a new home where there is space for a horse, or will that remain out of reach? I want a giant Clydesdale or Belgian worthy of the name Mr. Trusty. Mr. Mother Loving Trusty. Okay. Yeah, so when we get to the part of the question where it's like out of reach, this feels to me like for this to become in reach, a lot has to change. So this will be with timing of it all has to change, resources, aka finances, money, has to change as well. The market would have to change. It's just and not to say all that can't. It's like, the future's not written. I always make that clear to my clients. I believe the future is not written, and I don't see the future. But as energy is moving forward, things are kind of already in motion. And let me tell you what's in motion is this remaining out of reach. I actually feel like what's more in reach, the horse isn't as much out of reach as the property. So my prediction is at some point you'll kind of maybe lower the bar a little bit and actually just maybe rent a space for the horse. But I do feel like you'll have the horse within a few years. And when I say few, I'm thinking between 2 and 3. So the horse seems much more in reach rather than the space. I think you'll get creative with that. Okay. So all the best to you. And if you don't like that prediction, like I say, that's kind of what's already in motion. So just work harder, be more diligent, bring more people in. You just pump the resources even more. You'll have to, like I say, you have to change a lot, but it doesn't mean you can't. All right, let's. Okay, we're gonna say I'm not gonna get caught. All right, Jordan. Jordan writes in, very straightforward. Jordan says, "Do you see me finding someone special soon?" And yellow heart. Thank you. Within 8 months, so that actually puts us towards the end of this year. So the end of this year, 2025. We'll call it this. I feel like you'll engage with someone. I don't know how special. It doesn't feel super special. It feels like somebody that kind of checks a few of the boxes, not all the boxes. As far as special, I feel like you've got it's almost like you have to kind of get through it. It's like this, Jordan, what I'm feeling is not just getting through like a couple of busters, as I call them, but kind of learning. It's like you have to kind of accumulate some experiences, tools in the tool belt, so that you can mesh properly with that person as well. So I feel like you've got 4 turns of the calendar before you have that end all be all person. And part of the equation is you also being that special. Not to say you're not special, but so that your special can merge with their special and be special together. Okay. So you'll have somebody this year that kind of piques your interest, and like I said, checks quite a few boxes, but I don't see super longevity with it. But it'll be fun. Like I say, do what it needs to do for the time being. But your person feels to me like we're turning the calendar 4 times, so that would be. Oh, I hate to say the date. It'll be before 2030. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, thank you, Melinda. Had a reading with Stopher last year, and it was phenomenal. Highly recommend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go on. Let's go. Can everybody hear me okay? I'm trying to speak a little lower because by the time I get to the end of these lives, I feel like I'm yelling. So I'm trying to keep it low. All right, hi. This is from Nivra. Welcome back, Nivra. Hi, Stopher. What kind of visa do you see my new husband immigrating on? A work visa that's in process, a visitor's visa, or a family marriage visa? Can you give me an idea of when we might be together on the same continent here in the United States? Thank you. Yeah, so this I've got actually, I know there's a work visa, but there's something about the work visa I don't love. It's like kind of being, and I've never applied for a visa, never had to. It's like fine print. I'm getting like fine print energy. So there's something where he doesn't quite meet some of the standards of the work visa. So I feel like he gets here initially on a visitor's visa, and then um, there's the family marriage visa that comes into play. I think it's called like a K1, K3, K1. It's one of those. I wanted my brain initially said canine, but that's a dog. But it's one of the K's. Anyway, so yeah, there's something about the work visa that I can't quite bring it together. So looking at that, like really, it's like read all the quote unquote fine print about what the you know technicalities are because there's something there that I can't put together. Um, I feel like you can get here as early, like at least for a temporary. I feel like we can get him here like within the next year or less. It might actually be in this calendar year. So there is a pathway to get him here at least temporarily. Um, I feel like next year I'm keeping him here. So that's kind of I think you can have him here working towards permanent residency as early as probably this time or just a little bit. Yep, summertime of next year. Do I have? Thank you, Nivra. Do you have opinions on what America is going through right now? Yes. All right. Nivra, I think there was a follow up to. Uh, yeah, I was being a little cheeky right there with you, Indy Art Love, about yes, I do have opinions about what America's going through, but it doesn't matter. I don't get emotional about it. It is what it is. I have opinions, but I don't think they have value as far as what we're doing tonight. All right, are we headed towards martial law? Probably, yeah. And just a little bit of a prediction. You guys can write this down if you want. I know I was already getting this hit. It's kind of interesting that it came up in an interview this week with the president, joking about the third term. I actually feel like he will stick around past the 4 years. So I don't think it goes to a full 8 years. I'm more in the 6-year range. But there's something that, yeah, there's something happening. So they'll figure something out so that he can stay in office. And then as far as it just being 6 years, I feel like eventually it's like it would be a health thing that kind of runs its course. I actually feel like he's dealing with a lot of health things right now, but he's managing it. It's almost like he kind of got a hold of that last year, middle of the year. He kind of got a hold of some health things that were going on. Good for him. All right. Anyway, martial law, yeah, probably something like that. Because there's a bit of a, I mean, I know it's already like a bit chaotic, but there's already we're going towards something that feels like it's like almost like that's the point. So and we'll see what we can do with it. Yeah. Okay. Let's go on. All right. This is from Jennifer. Jennifer W is what we'll call it. I hope I get my question in under the wire. You did. You did. All right. I have a colonoscopy scheduled next week. I need to schedule mine too. This is from Jennifer. I have a colonoscopy scheduled next week and want to know how my prep will go, how the procedure will go, and if recovery will be smooth. Okay, so yeah, the hardest, the most difficult energy I have here is with the prep part of it. I feel like this will be I don't know, I've never had one. I'm kind of overdue, but I understand you have to there's some fasting and then there's I think stuff you have to drink or take. Anyway, this is where I actually have the most trouble energetically connecting with you. So I do think this will be hard, very hard on you. With the fasting and kind of some dietary needs, this will be hard. And then whatever has to go in so that they can see things properly when they do the scope, that also will be a little problematic. Yeah, the prep is the worst part, Leah, is what I understand. Um, but I buckle up, Jennifer. I feel like for you, you're a little more sensitive to it, so you'll be fine. But that will be the good news is that will be the roughest part of it. So once you get to the scope part of it, I don't have any issues, and then recovery, I think will be pretty normal. I hear it gives you a lot of gas. So anyway, and then I don't have anything as far. And once again, I'm going to clarify that I'm not a doctor, and this is not a diagnosis or lack of diagnosis. It's just me saying that I don't have anything as far as, oh my God, energy. Like, oh crap. No pun intended. All right. I'm using myself. Hi, Stopher. My company, this is from Melinda. Hi, Melinda, you're here. Okay, cool. My company is going through a reorganization at the moment. Lots of resignations and some layoffs. My boss resigned and they are looking to replace him. Should I throw my hat in the ring? I don't tell people what they should do, but I will say this comes with a lot of uh, caveats, a lot of X factors that I don't love. And I'm getting a sense that your boss gave a reason why they resigned, and it's not quite accurate. There's like a lot of. So my point here, Melinda, is I'm getting like almost like a target on your back thing. So if you throw your hat in the ring, I feel like you would actually be elevated to the position. And some people want you elevated to the position. And it comes with some good things, but mostly it's like I just get that it would not end as well as we would hope. So that troubles me. Use your intuition with it, but there's just some things where it's like a little bit of like you'd be in the crosshairs. And I think that's why your boss actually decided to leave. YouTube the after. No. I just got that, bro. I don't think anybody wants to do that. Hi, Keisha. All right, this is from Marnie. Thank you for being here, Marnie. Love you. All right, Stopher, hope your week is off to a good start. It is. Thank you. In April, I'm traveling to Toronto with a colleague for a conference. How do you see the energy around this? Are you still going to try bringing people on for mediumship readings? Yeah, I think I will. I know I've been kind of lacking on that. I'm just trying to muster up some energy to do some different things with my business. We'll put the question on hold for a second and talk about me. Um, so yeah, so I'm trying. I've been doing this for 2 years now, trying to find the bandwidth to make some big changes in how I operate my business, operate my content that I put out. To be quite honest, I do a mediocre job at best. I appreciate you guys for enjoying it, but um, if I had more bandwidth or more help, then this would probably look a lot different because I've got all the ideas and all the experience to do things. It's just it gets pushed back because I do give reverence to my private readings, private sessions, uh, to make sure that I have plenty of energy to handle everything that comes up on my schedule, plus my job and social life and that kind of thing. So, yeah, the short answer is yes. I will. I will be doing that. Da, 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 da. All right, Melinda. Yeah, the fact that I'm unsure about it and not raring to go gives me pause. Yeah. It's one of these things, Melinda, where if you throw the hat in the proverbial ring, I almost feel like they'll pick it up and you know put you in, and it's not. It just feels to me like it's a little. Not that you can't do it, the job, but everything that comes with it is a little more than you're probably ready to bite off. Okay, so continue to kind of sleep on it, so to speak. All right. Traveling to Toronto. Okay, so Marnie, I like the energy's good. Travel's fine. I worry. The one thing that does kind of pop onto the radar here, and worry is not the right term. The one thing that I'm made aware of is the colleague. I almost and not that I want to make it clear, not that the colleague is going to be dramatic or bring drama to you, but I do feel like they've got some things. It's almost like I just expect them to get like a call from home and have some kind of like of their own drama. Not that they would bring it on you, but it just kind of might fill the room a little bit with a different vibe. So that's the only thing I would prepare you for. I don't think it's anything that would derail the travel or the meeting or the conference or anything like that. But it's just like it could throw kind of a vibe. So just see all your protection energies and all that. Oh no, I have arrived at the end of the show again. No, not at the end. Cass, you are in the middle. Cass Mason's name is Cass. All right. Thank you, Marnie. Uh, Travel Bell. All right, this is Paul or Jen, and I believe this is the Jen portion of that duo. Hello, Stopher. I'm wondering if you see my husband retiring and us moving. Do you see the time line for this? We have our name on the wait list, but not sure if we are going to make the move. I don't have you moving. I feel like I've read on this before, and I mean, there's potential there, but it's very, very low. And I also am getting that it's kind of changing. Your timelines are kind of being held a little bit. So I know you're on a wait list, but it's either like it goes way, 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 way out in time, or you're actually kind of stymied a bit. All right. So I don't see the retiring happening this year. Next year is even a challenge. Okay. So your timeline's just they're stretching out. Once again, you can change these, just work harder, work differently, but that's kind of where we're headed now. Thank you. All right. I don't think this person has written into the Stopher Show before, and the name is very difficult to pronounce. So it is, we'll say Nika. All right. My name is Nika. I hope it's not too late to ask a question for tonight's live. It is not. Actually, most everybody waits until Monday, much to my dismay. And, that's fine. Okay. Da-da-da. I wanted to know what is the likelihood of me being promoted. I work for, we'll just keep that part out where she tells where she works for. It is a national company. Not sure if you'll mention it during the live. I did not. All right. So will you be promoted? I Here I go being the bad news medium again. So I don't think you'll be promoted. Not this year. I think you'll be it's like it's kind of on the table, but I feel like they keep moving it away from you. So here's my prediction, Nika, and I apologize if I'm not pronouncing it right. If it's NECA or whatever. I believe they will promise it to you or dangle the carrot, so to speak, and then keep moving it back. So next year is more of a likelihood, not this year, not in the next 8, 9 months. And even next year, I think and it's not that I see you leaving or moving anywhere else. I just feel like you get jerked around a little bit. So with this, I guess the directive here is to make your voice heard. If it gets to that point where it feels a little bit manipulative, you might have to kind of assert a little bit more. You doing the job well is not the problem. It just feels a little political and also financial, to be straight about it. Okay, I think that's it. In the mailbag. Yep, we got everybody. I did it. We got through it. We got through it together, folks. All right, so let me concentrate on you folks in the chat. I appreciate you for being here. Did I say that? Hit the like button. That'd be awesome. And if you're not subscribed, do that too. It painless. It doesn't cost anything, and you'll be a better person for it. Okay. What was I going to say? Okay, so we'll get some questions. Oh, how do you see my living situation in the next couple months? Kind of worried about my personal life on that front. I do see a displacement. Hear me out, Suzanne. It's like if I see something in my mind's eye, it doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen, but it's kind of usually symbolic. It's almost like I see it in the car. I don't think you're going to be living in your car, but I do think you'll be displaced where it's like maybe you question for a minute, oh wait, do I have to live in my car? I think you've got other resources, so you'll bounce to what's next temporarily. But I do sense a displacement, so I don't know if this is with a partner that you're questioning how this shakes out, but in the next 3 months, more so in the third month. So I feel that where are we at now? We're in April, so this will put us in July. So I feel like early July is when things kind of come to a head. You'll get clues before then. Trust me, it's going to be a bit of a rocky road. So I would start planning now for setting up those resources of what's next and temporary situations and that type of thing. By the end of the year, though, I think you've got your own spot, or you've got a spot that you feel like, because if I'm kind of getting the sense like I would finally feel like I'm back in a home kind of energy, being at home. All right, so my boyfriend, bye. Bye. I was hoping my boyfriend was going to be helpful. I don't know that your boyfriend's going to be helpful in this. Okay. I hope I'm wrong. Bernicia, hey. Sherry, hey. SP Third Eye, hi. Hi. So, me and my husband made an addition to our family, and it is a Dutch oven. My very first Dutch oven. It's great. I made soup last night. Creamy mushroom and wild rice. It was fantastic. So, if you're thinking about adding a Dutch oven to your family, I suggest it. Fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. All right. Aspie, thank you for writing in. Will I get the job at UM that I have my sights set on? Yes. That's simple. I don't have much to add to that. Yes. There will be like an interview process or a hiring process that feels to me like a gauntlet. It feels to me pretty intense. And is this University of Massachusetts or Missouri? Anyway, doesn't matter. Could be Miami for all I know. It's going to be kind of rough, but I think you'll get through it. And yep. Okay, so Marnie admits I never used one either. It's really just like kind of a really heavy pot, but it conducts heat really well. It's basically like a slow cooker without the electricity, other than what's on your stove. So kind of like a slow cooker. It's pretty nice. Any pics of the Dutch oven? I should have those because it's really pretty. It's like the greenish kind of color. Memphis, University of Memphis. I was wrong. Yes, yes, you can. I know you can. I get that energy. Kissy cat. Kissy cat's here. Hey, Stopher. A stray cat that I adopted gave birth to 5 kittens. Congratulations to the cat. Just about a month ago. Do you think I'll be able to find good homes for them? My tax lady is going to help me. Yep. I feel like there's actually like one person that will take, because I want to grab like a clump of them. That's a horrible word to describe grabbing cats, a clump of cats. But I want to grab more than one. Actually, I want to grab 3. So don't be surprised if you find that person that I don't think they take them all for themselves, but they are responsible for placing 3 of them. I don't think it's a tax lady. I think it's a third party from you and the tax lady. So that will nail down 3 of them. I don't think you keep any of them, although I think you probably might consider it, or one might stay close to you in a way. But yeah, short answer yes. I don't know that the tax lady helps much, to be honest. I just don't get a lot of energy from the tax lady, other than taxes. Stay in your lane, tax lady. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yes, because kittens are really cute, but then they turn into cats, and let's just say I have 2 dogs. All right, all right, all right. What else was I going to say? It's been an interesting week. Sorry for being quiet. I'm just going up. See if there's any other questions. I've got a tooth. Sorry if I keep like doing like a weird thing with my mouth. I've got a tooth that's kind of like a filling fell out probably like 6 or 8 months ago, and stuff was getting caught in it. And then finally, I think another piece of it came off or something. So I've got like this hole in the tooth on the side here. So I need to get to the dentist ASAP. It doesn't hurt yet, but I know from experience on the other side of my mouth back in 2005, it was hurting, and then that sucks. So, and there's a dentist that his office like right across from my office, so easy breezy. All right, here's questions. Here's questions. Like that. I had an interesting reading. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday. And I keep the private stuff private, so we won't go into what it was. But I started the reading, and I was bringing through like a grandparent or something, and the person I was reading for was very, kind of shutting everything down, and which is fine. Because sometimes I don't iterate things properly, so I'm okay with that. But I kept going, and it was just like off the rails, and it's like I know what I know. So I was like, wait, we need to stop. And what I realized was, because you know me, I'm not a reader that's going to like set you up with a bunch of rules. This is what this means, and this is it. I just kind of assumed that those things would take care of itself, and so what I realized was, my sitter had never had a reading, I don't think. And later would find out the person we would connect with, there was kind of an intense situation. So there was a lot going on for my sitter as well. So I just kind of had to stop, rewind, and then explain exactly what was going on, and what this information meant. And then once I did that, my sitter understood everything wonderfully, and so that was a lesson for me. But I still don't want to be the person that the reader that's saying kind of has to, pigeonhole everything. Everything kind of, for the most part, should speak for itself and kind of do what it's supposed to do. If I'm doing a good job, right? Okay. Hey, Stopher. Can you tell me if we are still on track to get a bigger caravan? Yeah, I've read for you before. I know the caravan. I like the energy around the caravan. I think that with the caravan being bigger, I also feel like it is, for lack of a better word, the energy I'm getting is like updated or kind of nice in the way of like having more bells and whistles that I think will be important with that as well. So, yeah, yeah. Um, and I feel like it's before the end of the year because it's almost like around Christmas time here. Caravan is part of the deal. Okay. But I think, yeah, keep working hard. I think you can get it as early as this year. She was good. Finances. Right. Are my finances in good order moving forward? They're fine. What is that? Bear with me. Oh, it's coming in. Uh, I was having trouble with the check. They were showing me, your energies were showing me like a check. They weren't moving it any direction, so I didn't know if it was coming or going. It's coming in. So I actually feel like you've got either some kind of retroactive money coming towards you or some kind of investment that comes, through. We'll call it a windfall here in the next like 6 to 8 months. When I say windfall, it doesn't mean we're talking about millions of dollars necessarily, but it could be 500, like a chunk of money that I think could help, and then everything else kind of stays in place. So uh, we've got like two streams of income that feels steady to me, and then the bills, what's going out, kind of feels the same. I don't feel like you're paying off anything this year. I don't feel like anything's like kind of going away. Um, they're going to stay the same. And I think you'll also have to continue to be creative as far as managing, those day to day, month to month bills as well. What I mean is, continuing to cut corners where you can. And I think we can all hear that. So, Trinity Star, pretty good. Pretty good. And watch out for this like windfall because there's some kind of, when I say check, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a physical check, but it just kind of, whether your energy's way of showing me that there's some kind of windfall coming in for you. All right. Do I have more energy to do this? To do more? Do you guys know why I drink with a straw? No, Stopher. Why? I'm just like really, and it kind of just drives me crazy that I keep touching the mic because one time it comes out of sounds, right? Um, one time I did a live with, I forget who it was. It was another reader like 2 years ago. And I had a different mic that I think was a little bit more sensitive than this one. And I kept hitting the mic. And I normally don't listen to any of the videos playback, but I did. And every time I would touch the mic, it would like make this horrible popping sound that most people probably didn't really even notice that I did. And I was mortified because when I watch people's, no, it's not because of the tooth issue. When I watch people's live and they make like noises or if they're eating, oh, it drives me crazy. So I, I don't want to like slurp the. I know I'm drinking like this out of the glass, but I just want to be conscious about slurping or making weird noises. So I'm going to try not to touch the mic as well. That's why. Actually, I wouldn't even drink if I didn't have to, but my mouth gets very, very dry. All right, I think we'll call it. Anybody else have any questions they want to put in real quick? Yep. Thank you, Celtic Seer. Please hit the like button. I appreciate it. Any opportunities? Any new opportunities coming up career-wise? I want to add some things. So when we talk about opportunities, I am not necessarily seeing where we're jumping onto like different opportunities, but I do feel like when I connect with you that it's like adding something to what you're doing. Almost, for example, like if I were just to do like a new piece of content or something like a podcast, which I'm thinking about, I'm getting a similar type of thing with you where it kind of is in the realm of what you do, and then you're just kind of adding on something that I mean could be passion project. I don't know that it produces financial resources right away, but I do think it kind of checks some other boxes as far as filling up your schedule, giving you something to do, passion project. It kind of connects in that kind of way. So Sandra L says, I don't think you read my question. Oh. Did you, Sandra L, did you email it? All right, you knocked on the email. I didn't see it. If you emailed it, it might have went to junk. If it goes to junk, I don't. Or Sandra, did you put it in the comments? Because I made it clear many times that got to scroll through a lot of stuff here. You're welcome. You are welcome. So if you want to put it in, I'll read it. All right. I don't think I have any other stories for you guys. Nope. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Put it in the chat. Sandra, if you, real quick, before I go, if you want to put it in the chat again, then we'll do it. I'm thinking of doing podcasting later this year. Will it go well? It will go. I have a feeling that one of the big hurdles here is like incorporating other people because kind of what I'm understanding is some of the folks that you've got targeted to help are a little flighty/flaky. So no offense to them, but life is happening for them. So we're not saying anything bad about them. It's just it might produce some hurdles for you. So if you can kind of get ahead of that and circumnavigate it, have some backups, maybe find different people, or have some really straightforward conversations to let them know what you expect. This will be a boon if you can do this. So yeah, I like it, and it feels to me like with probably most podcasts, even the one that I might do, kind of a slow burn as far as figuring things out, getting on different platforms, building an audience is kind of what I'm saying. So that's a nice slow burn. Like as far as what's already in the works, now you can change that, but it's just a nice trajectory. Thank you, Sherry, for Sandra is absolutely not going to rehash this. She's like, just go get it. It's up there. Scroll. Stopher. Quit being lazy. Scroll, damn it. I love it. I love it, Sandra. Because I deserve that. A little bit of sassiness. Oh well, so be it. No, I'm just having fun with you guys. Let's look. You know me, limited bandwidth. Here we go. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. I do remember seeing this. It was a little bit came through in my brain as a little bit more of a comment and less of a question, even though I do see a question mark. So my apologies. All right. I had a reading with you quite some time ago. Now that I have a problem with. Okay. You said I had two other energies in my home. I live alone. Do you still see that for me? I don't. I'm not saying that just because you told me you live alone. I don't. If there were things there, I don't think they're there anymore. I actually have, when it comes to your home, I actually have things very flatlined, which could probably is usually a good thing to not have too much like crazy activity, whether it's human activity or metaphysical energy, whatever the case is. Animals. Like if I read my energy in my home, it's probably a little not chaotic, but it's a little up and down. It's active. The two dogs and all that. You asked about animals. I do not. That that's interesting that I asked that because right now in my filter, I was asking that, and I also understood no to the animals as well. So the answer is no. I don't sense any different energies. So if I did then, it was probably something that's been removed or passing through, or maybe didn't come to fruition, or maybe I was wrong. That happens too. All right, Neptune has moved to Aries. Will it take? Will take a while. I was gonna say if this is a question, you guys know me, right? I'm gonna be like I don't know. Um, take a while for the mist to clear. Yeah, misty. All right, kids. I'm gonna stop being silly. Get off of here. I love you. Thank you for being here. Next week, let's do it. If you're into it, I'm down. Next week, email me. Email the questions. It makes it easy. That way, I can just hop into the mailbag. Um, and try to be specific. These are free readings, so try to be like specific rather than you know, figuring out what do you see for this year? What do my guides say? Most of you are pretty good with that. Continue that. Just if you've got a question, kind of be a little specific with it, right? I don't need a ton of context, but yeah, that's it. All right, we're gonna put this down. Where? There we go. All right, off we go. Good night, friends.